Force, Luke.
Sometimes truth isn't good enough.
I feel the need for speed.
Ray, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes!
Because it's their time. Their time. Up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here.
Dude, I almost forgot to type in my obligatory let's go in the chat because it's FrostCast. That's Wednesday night at 9 Eastern. This is episode 78. I'm Winter Wolf. We're going to bring in King Z because this might be the last strand before the big freeze rolls through the Eastern United States. Yeah, everywhere United States, I guess, dude. It's going to get cold.
It's going to get cold.
Dude, seriously. I'm talking about like 1.5 feet is what I'm hearing for up here and maybe some sub-zero situations.
Yeah, they're also down here in the south. We don't have a little icy ice fall down on us, make our roads impassable because we do not have the snow equipment down here because they haven't caught on to the 10-year cycle here yet. So
8 years in, we'll see how that works out. But anyways, Wardens rise. We're happy to see you guys. If you're dropping by for the first time, buckle up. Lots to talk about today. If you're familiar with what we do, do the same thing. Hang out for a little while. We got a lot of topics to come up. A couple of big ones, a couple small ones, and whatever little tangents we go on as we're prone to do. Pape Warden Prime himself is here early. Love to see it. Love to see it, dude. Welcome back from your vacay. Oh, you already been back. Never mind.
He's been back.
Next year's. I forgot about that. Big topics to go over. I guess the big one for us, it's a little late in the game because it's already been out there a while, is the reign of terror is over at Lucasfilms.
Or is it?
Or is it? Spoiler alert. It's not. It's not. Yeah, we were just talking about that pre-show, but I want you can set the topic up and we can get into because you got like a little fun thing you wanted to do with Darth Kennedy. So go ahead and roll us into it.
So the Empress has stepped down from her position. A lot of people didn't think you could actually do that, but apparently you can. And she stepped down. And now they have named 2 new presidents to overtake her position. She leaves such a gap that 2 people have to fill it.
It's like The Office, when Kathy Bates comes up and Michael Scott and Jim are both doing the other regional manager thing, and she's like, wait, it takes 2 guys to do a job. Sounds like each y'all doing half a job. Like, it's exactly that. Like where would Catholicism be without the popes? And every ship has 2 captains. Like, no, stupid. Why do we need these 2 boneheads to do this job?
Well, I'm guessing one doesn't know how to do paperwork, and the other one doesn't know how a show is actually created.
Or
that could be both
sheet.
of them.
You could do probably because it's like you were joking pre-show. It's like meet the new boss, same as the old boss, and in this case, it's not even like. It's literal. It's not even what's the figurative. It's literal here. It's Lou Brennan and Dave Filoni just moving offices down the hall or up a floor, getting a key to a better executive washroom. Like they've already been there. These are already entrenched quantities. Yeah. Like this doesn't represent a whole lot of course correction, in my opinion, because these 2 clowns are already there while the ship was going down.
Yeah, they promote from within. They're really big. It's part of being in their family. Promote within. Don't promote
corporate culture.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be like, I guess the good analogy there would be like if the Titanic was sinking and you were the captain, you taking off the hat and dropping it on me as you jump in the lifeboat, and now I'm like the 2nd officer promoted up. Like,
you get me.
Thanks.
You get me. You're the captain now.
You're the captain. We're cool. Yeah, it's the opposite of the meme. We should get the Oracle to work on that. Just have him flip the hand around this way. Yeah. You're the captain.
You're the captain now.
Like, dude, I don't get it, dude. I see people. I've seen people make the rejoice videos for like a week, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like we were just saying, like we rattled off a list of kind of Filoni's accomplishments over the last 3-4 years, and I'm like, where are the hits? Like Mando is past its prime by a factor of what now? 3 years, 4 years,
and that's because we talked about this last week. Is that they misused that IP. They could have done something a lot greater where they had a lot more episodes. They could have had a certified hit that ran for 3 to 5 seasons, syndicated, have it monster of the week, and then have a story through the a bigger arcing story in the background of them fighting to either like restore or help support the New Republic, or just to, let's have a Western, and this is my country out here.
And they could have done any number of things with that show, but I think you're right. It's fundamentally mismanaged, and I think that we're now far enough removed from the first season of the show that literally blew people away. I think people really liked that show season 1. I think people were kind of tepid on season 2 until the big finale and the Skywalker return. Like that broke the internet for like 2 days.
Yeah.
But season 3 is a dumpster. It's like a certifiable dumpster fire. It's one of your rarely indicated dumpster fires.
Yeah, I mean, season 3 was just a disappointment. I mean, it was boring. It had bad dialogue. It had missing parts. It would tell you one thing and then contradict it like 4 sentences later. Like, Mandalorians never surrender. And then it's like, yeah, the day that we surrendered. It was like the next story that they told.
Dude, all I can remember from that season was the Jolly Green Giant Swamp Thing pirate captain guy.
Yeah.
And him looking like a Muppet. I called you, like, if I remember, I texted you, I called you like that night that episode was on. And I'm like, what happened to this show? Like, where's the money? Where did it go? Like, we like this fan made shit out there better than this. This cannot be the thing. This cannot be.
It's like
and it was
Pizza the Hut outfit and just painted it green.
Right to it, exactly. He just like shit falling out of his beard and everything else. Just cheese melting. It was just bad. Pape says on the wing, I just seen that see the corporate fingerprints all over. Did 100%. 100%. But you know who's cool? But those fingers belong to Dave Filoni. That's the point. This was his baby. Like King was saying, Favreau had long since departed after the Gina stuff. He had already begun to withdraw his involvement.
He came back for the movie, though. He did come back for the movie.
Yeah, because it's his creation. I get that. Like
and it's
a movie. Be involved in that. Right. But it is Filoni's fingerprints. And you were astute in pointing out pre-show that Ahsoka is only his fingerprints. And that show is mid at, dude, I'm being generous here. I know you hate that one too. It's mid at best with a couple of standout scenes and people gassing it up because Anakin came back. And everybody loves Hayden Christensen now. Like retroactively, everybody loves that guy now.
Yeah,
in that role. That was not the case 20 years ago. By the way,
it was not, but it is now because we've seen what we got since.
Right. Exactly right. So I think people way gas up that show because I think people typically they like him. I think everybody loves Rosario Dawson. Like that's fair. I think everybody does. I got nothing bad to say about her, but I'll say
they didn't give her much to do with,
dude. They gave her nothing to deal with, and I think that
except for that opening scene in the first episode,
right? With the droid assault,
and then her doing that like the spin move with the
spin to cut through the floor.
Yeah,
yep, dude. You had to go all the way back to the first episode of an 8-episode series to get that. You know what I mean? And then Space Whales,
and not including we got the dumbest Thrawn I've ever seen.
I'm going to upgrade you from dumbest to dumbest and fattest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, zombie troopers.
Zombie troopers.
That was the thing. But yeah, that's the thing in one of the books. I don't really hate that. I could work with that.
Yeah, let's roll out, but let's give time for the heroes to get close before we roll out. It's like we're completely loaded. All right, let's prepare to leave.
Hold up, prepare to leave. Preparing.
You should be prepared already. This isn't Spaceballs.
Like fuck. I was just gonna say it's like fucking Spaceballs, but it's not nearly as charming or funny. Pape says Favreau should have gotten the job, dude. I don't think he wants it. On his best day, I don't think he wants a corporate guy. The guy likes to make movies. He likes to make
movies. He likes his freedom. Yeah. I mean, we would have never, if he was tied down to a corporate job like this, we never would have got Elf. We never would have got the chef.
Right.
So
I don't think that's his speed. Maybe when he's like 65 or something like that and is done making stuff, he might want to step into that role. But I think he's still got creative juice in the tank and doesn't want to kind of go that route yet.
And remember,
I don't blame him. It sounds like a miserable job.
He was with Marvel Studios before it became Disney. He's the one who launched Iron Man, and that's pre-Disney.
Yep. When the plan was in place and people knew what they were doing and they had creative control and restraint. Yeah, no, I know. That ship has sailed. But I think that it's kind of the situation now where like the position's got to be so toxic. Like whatever exec they were going to hire off the street could probably only handle it for like 2 years or 3 years. And maybe they think that they just had a better shot promoting somebody that they could at least fake, like was George Lucas allied to maybe put some fans at ease. But I don't like, when's that been the case with this guy?
Well, I would say that they hired within for a couple reasons. One, they're probably used to the work environment and the schedule that they have to keep, like how fast they have to do stuff. They're used to that pace. Bringing someone in might come in and hit burnout too quickly because they're not used to that pace. So that is one good thing about hiring within. They're used to the work environment and the people know them. So they're known names, they're trusted by the people that work with them because they've seen them at the water cooler, going to the cafeteria and grabbing that ham sandwich. So
it's more of a veggie burger with these clowns, but that's neither there. But I think that's where people have kind of misread this situation. That people think that there's been some changing of like a mythic figure of authority at the top, so it automatically means now you guys are going to get what you wanted. Now you're going to get the rated R Boba Fett. Now you're going to get Heir to the Empire. Now you're going to get Luke at a full power level. Now you're going to get a real Mara Jade. You're not getting any of these things, guys. I wish you were. I really do.
Now, to the defense of why they did the sequel trilogy they did, I can defend it because we don't want to see them build the New Republic. That movie's never made. It's always the rebels who overthrow the evil that's going on, and then that's the end. And then when they have a chance to do a sequel to that, it turns into they have to be rebels again.
Right. Which is a massive misuse of an interesting opportunity to show the bad guys being on that back foot trying to mount their comeback instead of automatically thinking that the only way you can get a sympathetic hero group is if they're on the run. Pape says, Pace, if you mean announce project, cancel, do it again, rinse and repeat. Dude, I feel you. I think
hire new writer.
I think he meant more of the day-to-day, like in the office, That's what I think that's what we're going for there. But I get both of those points for sure. I think you're right. It was probably an easy way for them to not have to bring in a new person who would show up, probably be grossly overpaid because the position's toxic as hell, because earnings are where earnings are, because fan response has been what fan response has been for the last 5 projects. I don't know when was the last time they had a hit.
It's been on a downward decline since Mando season 3 and because actually it was on a decline before Mando season 1. Mando season 1 flattened the curved and then had the jump back up. Yeah. But then after that, I mean, you had the failed Solo movie. You had a really good movie, Rogue One, that kind of just stood out. Because it was well put together once again. That's Tony Gilroy though, and he pretty much had a gun and he kept all
Andor
off. Yeah,
right. Andor. Gilroy, I'm like, I know they had at least one good one in there since we've started kind of reviewing things together. Yeah, that's Andor, and that has the least amount of Kennedy involvement out of all of the things on that hit list.
Yeah, season 3 fall off, and then they had Book of Boba Fett came to negative reviews.
Garbage.
Obi-Wan said it was nostalgic at best, but horrible writing.
Terrible.
We had Ahsoka, which was nostalgic to a niche crew who liked the animated series, and also very nostalgic.
Let me put a pin on that real quick. I wonder, and I wish someday when we've got a couple million subscribers, that'd be a great poll to have. I'd love to ask dedicated Star Wars nerds, if you were a fan of Ahsoka in any animated form, whether it was Rebels or Clone Wars, whatever your initial exposure was to that character, how does that rank versus the live action? Did you think they did her dirty or did they do her justice? I'd love to see. Maybe we could dig that up somewhere else online. I'm sure that poll's out there, Yeah. But I'm guessing a lot of people didn't like the treatment she got in live action because, like you said, she walked around for 8 hours doing this.
Or listening to stories as the white monk, which
she was Ahsoka the
much
White.
More than that, yeah.
She was Ahsoka the White.
Yeah.
I get that. And
when you're the title character and you're in the first 5 minutes of one of your episodes and that's it, when you're the title character, it tells you everything you need to know about how they wrote that character.
Dude, same thing with fucking Boba Fett, dude. I told you that's the one D+ Star Wars show you didn't watch, right? You didn't watch
I
Kenobi
watched
either,
the
if I
beginning of
remember
it. I
right.
think I got through episode 3 or 4 before I kind of just I wasn't
On
that
the Fett?
interested.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
realize you watched that much of Boba. Dude, well, you got off at the right point, because that's when they bring in Luke and Baby Grogu, that they lifted that episode from, or they lifted those scenes from Mandalorian season 2, right? And splice that in there, or season 3, I mean. And then he is in an episode and has like 11 seconds of dialogue for the whole thing, because it became Fennec Shan's show. It became it became that girl's show. The same way they
Because
did.
she was more interesting and she was better written.
Right, 100%. I was gonna say,
And
in the
the
same way
actress,
they
she's
sidelined
top
Mando.
notch. The actress who played is
100%.
just top notch.
Yeah, 100%.
So they should have made the X-Wing Road Squadron the movie.
I do.
They've been working on this, but the thing was the writer had to leave because she had other projects she had to take care of. They were taking too long to greenlight her. So now she's back and working on it. Last article I read. That was a year ago.
We talking about Patty Jenkins?
Yeah.
I'd say I thought that it was those other projects were the disaster that was Wonder Woman 84, and that got her not working on Rogue Squadron with how poorly that movie did.
The last article I read is that she was back to work writing on it.
Listen, I wouldn't mind it. I like the first Wonder Woman movie. She's got a personal interest in writing a Rogue Squadron story because she's inspired by her dad, who was a fighter pilot in World War II. You know, like if that's a passion project for her, maybe it won't suck. But I know that she was kind of exposed because I think she got a sole writer's credit on Wonder Woman 84. And it bombed the way it bombed because the story was weak, and she had some help writing the actual story to Wonder Woman, the first one, and then, had directing responsibilities and made it her own style visually, which is where it worked.
Yeah.
No Man's Land scene doesn't happen without her. That was her stamp on it,
Mm-hmm. The Ryan Gosling one has me interested because I'm wondering what they're going to do with it, because it's called Starfighter. It's not called Rogue Squadron. It's called Starfighter.
And it's not called Jedi Starfighter either. I've heard people call it that 1,000 times. I'm like, not the title. It's not Jedi Starfighter.
It's Starfighter.
It's a whole different thing. Right?
Star Wars Starfighter, which could be a very interesting story to tell of a up and coming Top Gun in space. It could be Top Gun in space.
It should be Top Gun in space, but I think the problem is, according to the early synopsis that we got anyway, is that it sounds more like Wolf and Cub. That it's the Mandalorian again. He's hired by a woman to take the Force-sensitive kid to safety elsewhere. And I'm like, you guys know there's more story out there, right? Like King, you're right. It could be Top Gun in space. It should be It should be like how there's the Imperial Flight Academy, like the Rebel Academy in space.
It won't be Rebel Academy. New Republic.
New Republic. I'm saying the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be any of those things. It could be he's a mercenary starfighter pilot that bailed on a Republic pilot commission and was like, nah, fuck it. New rules aren't for me. I'm gonna get my Han Solo on. Do anything. You do anything you want. He
fought during the rebellion and then retired. He's like, I'm done. And then they have to bring him back to teach.
Dragging me back.
And then he has a whole new batch that he's training.
That's a little Top Gun Maverick action right there. I like that, dude. That could work. But now we're going to transport kid from point A to point B. And I'm like, okay, but like, even if it's great, it can't avoid the comparison to we just saw this. We just saw this.
It depends on how they do it.
3 seasons of that.
It depends on how they do it.
It's still Wolf and Cub at the end of the day. I'm not going to like the kid up front. The kid's not going to like me. We're going to have a couple of close calls, and all of a sudden I'm throwing myself in front of a blaster bolt.
So we're talking Officer and a Gentleman then story.
saying, dude.
Or for the newer crowd, The Guardian, which has Kevin Costner and Ashton Kutcher.
Right. I mean, we'll see what happens there. But I mean, I know you wanted to take a little bit of fun out of the top. I inject some fun into the topic and kind of look over Kathleen Kennedy's greatest hits.
That's right. I went back and looked at everything that she has her name on. So, what I'm going to do is I ranked all of the Star Wars projects that Kathleen Kennedy has her name on, that she had while she was president of Star Wars films. And I
this is only Star Wars. This doesn't expand beyond.
No, this is
Star Wars. Okay.
Her as president of Lucasfilms for Disney.
All right, let's see what you got.
All right. And I'm going worst to best. Okay. And I did cheat. A little.
what we do here.
There's 12 projects that she's worked on. 12 total projects. 2 that haven't come out that are still going to be part of her name, and that's Mando and Grogu. That's still going to be under her flag, and the Starfighter is still going to be under her flag.
Okay. All right. Starting at the bottom.
So starting at the bottom, number 12, and this should be no surprise to anybody. It's the Acolyte. It's the Acolyte. The Acolyte is the worst thing that she put her name on.
Dude, it's been like what, 2 years? Has it been 2 whole years? I think
it hasn't been 2 whole years yet.
It's close. It's like 18 months, 20 months. Dude, Fire in Space is still routinely cited when you're talking about stupid shit elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's like you memed yourself into the lexicon permanently for being that dumb.
When you need an AI to defend your decisions, you just know you're bad. The perfect haircut with the lightsaber.
Wait. What about when she gets the Jedi Master who had been in a forced meditative state for 10 years to willfully drink the poison?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What about when she showed up and single-handedly bested a Wookiee Jedi in single combat?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay, great. What about the Jedi Padawan on the science team who had such shitty emotional control that he hijacked a speeder bike and drove it straight into the Witch's Coven at the end and got himself taken hostage? What about that?
Yep.
Okay. There's more, but wait,
there's more. We need some Bill Mays going on.
Remember now, they went ahead and arrested the main character, right? Because an alien showed up to the Jedi police station and said, yeah, that's her. That's the black girl is her, right? And nobody remembered her previous teacher. Nobody remembered that she had a twin. And it was somehow out there that she may not have, that her alibi may be bunk, despite having been on a work vessel with 30,000 witnesses who could all attest that she wasn't on the planet where the murder happened 47 parsecs that way. Dude, that show is so stupid. It's like, I can't. We should watch it again though for fun.
No,
we should.
No.
Yeah, we gotta.
I don't need to poison my brain. That's waking back up.
I'm back up IQ points. I think
all
I can
right.
take another hit.
So the next one, once again, going from worst to best, The Last Jedi.
Ooh, all right. Bottom. Impressive. Dude, hot dog shit. And we're 10 years away from this. And I think now, that's all I'm going to say, and I'll let you talk about TLJ because my thoughts on it are well known. I think it's impossible at this point for fans of TLJ to not at least admit it's divisive, that it is in fact not a slam dunk hit, and that earning $1 billion at the box office means nothing if it sets off a catastrophic falling of dominoes in the wake. That's all I got.
Then coming next is The Rise of Skywalker. Oh, my opinion is that it sucks.
There we are. All right, number 7.
I think Johnson should never be allowed around Star Wars or any other sci-fi title. He can go and do some murder dramas for a while and just, get out the game. There's so many different things. Like you destroyed the character of Luke Skywalker. Bravo.
Roasted.
You wouldn't put the big 3 together on screen for 15 seconds and get that huge pop that everybody wanted. You had to kill Han Solo off in the first.
They could have done a flashback in TLJ, though. That could have been a thing. He's not off the hook for that. He could have made that move. I'll say this, though. Did you see that little dust up that he and Kennedy just had recently after he dipped? Where she's like, I think Ryan's trilogy, and I think he got spooked because of the online backlash, and that's, the rest of his projects are taking up his time, but I understand why he's moved on. And then he tweets out, yeah, no, sorry, not spooked. No, it's because dude got a $10 trillion deal at Netflix to make Knives Out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That trilogy doesn't happen.
He keep doing them. I like the Knives Out. I even like the new one.
I heard the new one was kind of busted. Was it all right? I'll take your word for it.
I like those type of movies. The first one out, Knives Out, that was really fun. That was such a fun movie to watch.
Second one was Glass Onion.
Glass Onion.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe I'll get around to watching them. That one had Edward Norton, Dave Bautista, Kate Hudson.
Wake Up Dead Man's the newest one.
Wake
right?
Up Dead Man. That's
right.
it. Yeah. And I liked it. I thought it was decent.
I have to take a look at least the first one at some point and see how it is.
But then we also have
Something
Space Witch Leia in that one.
Oh God, no! It's Mary Poppins. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude,
that one is as dumb as Fire in Space.
Dude, what's dumber about TLJ? Is it Mary Poppins Leia or the 40-minute side quest that literally, if we did a fan edit of that movie and cut out, nobody would miss it?
It accomplished nothing
from a filmmaking perspective, from story perspective. What is dumber? Like doing that to a main character or wasting that amount of time? What do you think?
Wasting that amount of time.
Unforgivable sin.
I'm just thinking of all the man hours that went into making that.
40 minutes and $100 million, right?
Yeah,
but they had CGI animals, aliens everywhere in a giant casino that's not real.
Yeah. A whole actor you didn't need.
What's his face? Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
As a what do they call them in Star Wars? Slicers. They're not hackers,
slicer.
Slicers, right?
Yeah, slicers. Yeah.
Pointless.
Chrome
Trooper was back.
Oh yeah.
And that's in the resolution there. Pointless
because it accomplished nothing.
Nada.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're going to continue with the sequel trilogy with the rise of Skywalker.
So that's better than TLJ?
Yes.
Defend the position.
I would say it's better than TLJ because of the lightsaber battles were pretty cool. And it had Lando in it.
It did have Lando.
Lando straight down is automatically better.
Billy D is Billy D.
That's Billy D, man. He's there with his Colt 45.
I said the thing. All right, I'll give some points with that, but it's such a narrative mess, though. I mean, can we give it points for trying to undo some of the stupidity of TLJ? Because I did that on launch. I did give it that.
And that's why it was as bad as it was, I believe, because he had to undo everything from TLJ.
But since the topic here stems from Kathleen Kennedy, right? It was her decision to unload Colin Trevorrow, who had a script out. The title was the script title was Duel of the Fates. They had an entirely different story direction for episode 9. They could have just run with it. I've read the script. Like, I found it online. It's a much better story than what we got. And it's astonishing to me that they had that guy in-house with that script and instead decided to just it's the meme. Like, you're riding your own bike and you throw the fucking broom handle in the front spokes and you're like,
and then crime that you got hurt.
And then cry that you got hurt. Like, the story was right there. But you're right. I think I gave retroactively, I won't watch Rise of Palpatine ever again because it's bad. But I can retroactively, and I've done this for a while now, be like, they undid and gave direct fingers to Rian Johnson's stupid ass.
Yeah, because of what they wrote Rose completely out.
They did that. They had Luke treat the Force and the saber with reverence. I mean, the lightsaber is the heart of a Jedi, or whatever he says. And then the raising the X-wing scene. You can call it fan service. I don't care. I'm a fan. I want that service. You're supposed to do that shit. It's okay. And actually, I don't even dump on it. I'm gonna ask you this. The end scene where he does the Force projection thing and it eventually taps him out and he dies. I thought that was pretty solid. I know a lot of people did not like that, but I don't mind the heroic sacrifice.
I thought that actually it looked really cool. I loved how he just kind of dusted himself off. Yeah. that was kind of cool, but I thought it would be better if he actually if it was actually him in person and he deflected one of those blaster bolts.
One of the big ones, just sent it right back up to the head. That would have been dope. Like deflecting
you missed out some opportunities there.
Yeah. But for what we got, though, I didn't mind the whole I overexerted so much.
Yeah, that he just became one with the Force.
That he rejoined, right? I'm with that. And I did I'll give him some credit. The best thing we got, in my opinion, that whole movie was him being on screen with Carrie Fisher and handing him the dice from the Millennium Falcon. The twins theme came on and I'm like, yep, okay. You've earned this, but it was fake because it was just a hologram and that kind of sucked.
Yeah, and how is the hologram carrying the dice?
We're going to talk about a hologram on Amazon Prime. We're going to do that. We're going to do that again. Like a 2-day delivery across the galaxy. These fucking guys. These
Oh yeah, the force
yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna stage the gag where I'm gonna hand a Sharpie through the webcam, and you're just gonna take it out of the other side. Get it? There it is. Got him. We're a force dyad, dude. Confirmed. That's it. There we go. Makes sense.
Yeah, I liked Rise of Skywalker more than I liked The Last Jedi.
It's still third from the bottom, so it still sucks ass.
Yeah. Coming up next is the Book of Boba Fett.
Trash. We already talked about it.
Yep, we don't have to go over that again.
Nope.
After
Should've
that,
been a hard-hitting crime drama. We got nothing. Not a damn thing.
After that would be Ahsoka. I was bored to tears.
Dude, you really were. Dude, you were, and honestly, that makes for such a shitty review because no one's having fun when you're bored. Like when we dunked on Alien Earth, tell me that was not a blast week to week, just dunking the fuck on that show, right? Because you're like, you think you've seen the stupidest shit you can see, and then like, surprise, more stupid shit. And then you think that's rock bottom. Like, surprise, there's even dumber people in the flashback episode. Here they are.
What you know you're a bad show when you hit rock bottom and then begin to dig.
Right. And successfully. Like you break out like the jackhammer and you actually get down into like the bedrock or something. It's wild how bad that show was. But yeah, Ahsoka, its biggest crime is being boring and pointless.
It was boring.
And then dumping on the shit that we wanted most.
The best part we got the least of, and that was the Braylon Shaw story.
Braylon Skull, yeah.
Skull, yeah.
Dude,
I sent you that reel.
By the way, oh, dude, it was awesome.
Yes, that's the show I want to watch.
Dude, I believe that was my response to someone. Dude, that's the show that I wanted more than anything out of what we got.
Yeah,
was that
out of
morally
all 13
ambiguous
of these,
fighting for a bigger cause, but too far removed from the Jedi and not as homicidal as anything Empire related. There's a darker or an older power out there. Please explore that. Please.
Yeah.
Nope. Or not yet. I mean, maybe in season 2 because they did recast the role.
And this is where I cheated. Coming up next, this is where I cheated. I made Mando season 3. I split up the Mando series.
That's fair. That's fair because I think you do because if it averages out into something that's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Season 2 is not as great as I think people got some rose-colored goggles on for that show. I think people just remember how it ended.
Well, I liked season 2. I think season 2 was decent.
It was decent, but there were a couple of filler episodes that didn't do anything for me at all. Like whatever, and dude, I can't even remember them now. That's how like black hole they are in my head. So that says something else,
Now we're coming into the more top half.
Yeah.
I would say we're past the halfway, and Obi-Wan runs out this middle part.
Terrible. There's too many bad things to list. They did Kenobi dirty on that show. The little girl was obnoxious. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm not dumping on the actor. The character was terrible. And Obi-Wan was a useless guy. They did this to all these guys right around that same 3-year period. Anybody that was a hero in the 80s, 90s has to be a broken piece of shit in middle age. And that's whatever, man. Fuck you.
Yeah, I just want to know what happened to him in those other 10 years to make him look so much different.
Okay, he aged up pretty hardcore between the end of the Clone Wars and the Order 66.
Yeah,
dude, the Vader fight was not cool though. No,
it was a better Vader fight than we've seen Obi-Wan versus Vader.
Okay, hold on. You guys got to jump off the stream after Google, just YouTube up Obi-Wan versus Vader modernized. That's a great fan edit. It's awesome. Number one, because it just restages the Death Star fight that they actually had in episode 4. To Pape's point, here's why the Vader fights are stupid. Because it completely undercuts and undermines the entire exchange they have in A New Hope.
Yeah,
the whole
that
point
part
was that I was but the learner. Now you can't do that. So the first time you dragged Obi-Wan cuck Kenobi's face through fire as payback, and somehow that didn't kill him, whatever. And then the second time he becomes Kenobi Jesus and he's raising like a tomb full of stones and fucking slinging them like it ain't no thing. Like, no. We talk about power creep. No. Can't. It was too much and didn't like it. Didn't like it anyway.
Next was Skeleton Crew.
Dude, I forgot that was a thing, but I liked it.
I did like it too. That's why it's on the upper half of mine, but I don't think it outdid some of the other ones. No.
And there's never going to get a season 2 and those characters going nowhere. Like they're not going to be recurring characters in anything except like
it was
a
just
Disney
a fun
park
adventure.
ride.
It was just a fun adventure story.
Yep. It was Percy Jackson in space. Not as good though. I'm going to be very clear. Not as good. Not as good.
Coming after a Skeleton Crew was Solo, which I think that just got a bad rep of based out coming out after everything else.
Oh, dude, it was absolutely punishment for the TLJ situation. 100% people.
But I think it still was a good movie. It got that it was payback because it only made like 300 million.
Oh, dude, and it's the only Star Wars movie to date to have publicly been acknowledged to have lost money. 100%. That's like Nerdrotic's famous thing is talking about Solo, the only Star Wars movie to lose money. Like that's a thing, dude. I would suggest, right, and I would propose that we kick off a list for 2026 that we've mentioned before about like second watches or second helping or whatever we want to call it. Maybe we start with Solo. Maybe we go back and take a look at it being 5 years removed from its launch and take an objective look at it. I think it gets dumped on because famously again with Kathleen Kennedy, she fired Lord and Miller 95% of the way through the job and had to bring in Ron Howard to finish the job and reshoot like 80% of the thing.
Yeah.
So we get a rush job and a bunch of weird cuts
and a lot of the actors talked about that, and they said that it was much better and more streamlined once Rob Howard got involved. They said the other guy was just completely horrible.
They said directing team Lord and Miller were horrible.
Yes,
interesting.
They said that they would sit there and just do like, all right, now let's do this happy. Now let's do this sad. Now let's do this like you're a little surprised.
Okay. Then again, I propose we take a second look at this and see what we think.
Yeah. All right. Coming after that is The Force Awakens.
Now, dude, let me you go first on this one. Dude, what did you think of The Force Awakens here?
I actually like The Force Awakens. I didn't know that it was a very homage piece to A New Hope. I like the introduction of the new characters. I think they did a great job of introducing the new characters. It built the universe up with that the state of time that they were in. Really good. I liked seeing Han Solo get his Millennium Falcon back. I also
never lost it.
I enjoyed seeing a stormtrooper actually turn. And of course, we saw the
most
greatest
part.
Like when it started off with a bang with Kylo Ren showing up and catching a blaster bolt with the Force, something we've never seen before. I thought interesting. That was really good. I think it had a great premise at the start. And I think after it left that, it just kind of just left it all out. You introduced interesting new characters like Poe, Finn, and Rey. All three of them had interesting stories. I thought they could have
were solid.
Yeah, it could have been really well done. I did not like that they started back on a desert world. I'm tired of seeing desert worlds. I want to see something different in Star Wars. That's what Mando was giving us a little bit. Like you saw different worlds.
Bespin was dope, dude.
So
Cloud City.
I think that it was really well done with the homage that it played to A New Hope.
My big takeaway from Force Awakens is that I remember a couple of amazing visuals. I like that, like you said, right from the beginning of the damn movie, the drop Imperial shuttle with like the lights coming in and out and just like reflecting on stormtrooper masks. Like that visual has stayed with me for a decade. I'm like, that's solid. That's intimidating as fuck. Right. Yeah. And then when Rey and Finn are making their escape after they hijack the Millennium Falcon from the junk pile, they got that one shot where their main cannon is locked. So Rey throws it into like a barrel roll or whatever. That way she can angle it around and get the blaster to have Finn take a shot at the TIE fighter tailing them. But just how they angled the shot was badass. I loved it.
Yeah,
I was like,
they did
this is fun. I like this.
They did really good with this one, and it deserves the $2 billion that it made. Not including that everyone's been waiting forever for this movie, and it's not what they wanted. A lot of fans, it's not what they wanted, but it was so nice to have another Star Wars film made.
But the $2 billion is just proof. In a way, it's kind of roundabout proof that everything channels like us from our viewpoints that we mention week to week. The fact that it was $2 billion and didn't have a 70% drop off in weekend 2 and was a culmination of people wanting more Star Wars and ready to consume more Star Wars and didn't get trashed with word of mouth, meant the brand was still strong. They don't have that now.
No.
There's no guarantee their next thing does anything ever on any platform, small screen or large. No
because they don't have the trust of the fans, and
none,
and they're not creating new fans because it's an old IP.
Yep, 100%. 100%. So you're going to see diminishing returns on every big screen project going forward from here.
And like they set up,
people are out.
A great concept with, I mean, if you just take out the story of the sequel trilogy, you have a great concept because they blew up Coruscant in The Force Awakens. So the New Republic is gone. And then
was that Coruscant or was that Hosnia Prime?
No, that was Coruscant. They said it was Coruscant. Because the whole New Republic fleet was there.
I don't remember that. I'll take your word for it for the stream.
Yeah, for their Star Killer thing that they built. That was like
the Star Killer base. Yeah, super Death Star.
Yeah,
dude, that was another stupid ass part about Rise of Palpatine. Death Star tech on every Star Destroyer. Just stop.
Yeah,
just stop.
That's
stop. Too much.
It's over.
Just stop.
But if you take out the whole story and just cut it out, but leave the results, you have the First Order was defeated. The Empire is no more, and the New Republic has failed and been destroyed. Right. What's next?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was some framework that could have put them in a different, interesting direction. But you know what? I think sadly none of that would have mattered because nobody had sat down to think out the through line through 3 movies anyway.
All right.
I mean,
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Got him.
I could have swore it was Coruscant.
The planet where everybody was looking up where the red streak was going over, and then the red came in on them. That was Hosnian Prime. It wasn't Coruscant. But everybody, dude, myself included, everybody watching the movie, because they did such a piss poor job of grounding you in where they were in most places and most of the different cuts of like where you were going in movie. Mm-hmm. Everybody thought it was Coruscant because it's similar. Tech buildings, flying cars, traffic in the sky shit. That's why.
Okay.
Which is confusing. But anyway, next.
My bad. I don't get things right.
The common misconception.
All right. So my top 3, Mando season 1 and 2.
Yep. Solid.
Rogue One.
Rogue One was dope.
And the top 1 is Andor.
Dude, can't argue with your top 3.
Yeah, watch our review on Andor. Watch us raise a shot to Tony Gilroy as Andor season 2 finale happened. Like that was the perfect non-Star Wars I've ever seen.
Dude, I think season 2 is better than season 1. I think we've said that before. I think that the resistance story, that World War II, guerrilla underground story that they were telling there is a better watch, was more interesting and more nuanced than the prison segment and the prison break from season 1, which was great. Don't get me wrong. I like that. But there was something more real because you and I are at an age where we remember how World War II worked because we were taught that history because it was only 2 decades before we showed up, 3 decades before we showed up.
Yeah.
So it made it very recognizable. I think that was solid.
So yeah, that's where we ranked Kathleen Kennedy's stay at Star Wars.
But let's throw a wrench into this whole thing, and I'll ask you. We've seen the public comments made. We've seen clips out of the interviews and some passages from the autobiographies and such. Do we really think she had any creative control over any of this besides, like your tagline suggests, in the crappier projects, put a check in it, make it more lame and gay? Like, there's a reason people conflate her status as a producer, and it's because of the obvious. She's been the tag along to creative geniuses for 3 decades and then took over the most powerful IP in American cinematic history. Like Spielberg himself is in an interview talking about, taking notes wasn't one of her strong suits and getting coffee was And then she'd be the one during a writer's discussion where she'd come in with her notebook and say, okay, that's cool. But like, what if the dog ran in the room at that point? And saying that she was completely not part of the creative chemistry that made things like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Willow, E.T., all these things, that the biggest credit they're willing to give her is that she was somebody that knew how to get shit done in a project, where she was good at doing logistics, where she was good at getting people the resources they need to get their jobs done, which is fine. That's an amazing skill to have, and lots of people can't do that. But to somehow, it's almost like a stolen valor thing for me. Like, she's not a creative genius. What project has she single-handedly willed to life, start to finish, on the shoulders of her own creative integrity?
Skeleton Crew.
Is that hers? Did she write that? She wrote it?
She had major, how do they put it? Major influence on the creative process, because she was there because she worked on Goonies. She gave us Goonies.
I was going to say that tracks. Then she should have done more shit like that and kept her name and her thumbprint off of anything that involved a cast over the age of 18. You know, because it shows whenever it got into big guy stuff, into grown up stuff, big girl stuff, it was all bad. Look at your list.
Yeah, but she's also in charge of the hiring and firing, what scripts get greenlit, what has to be in a script for her to even read it. So her fingerprints are all over this, because it's her creative focus that drove the Star Wars universe through her tenure of, what was it, 15 years as Star Wars? Of Lucasfilms. Sorry, I keep saying Star Wars. It's Lucasfilms.
That's what I mean. So she's presiding over crap like the Willow series. Like the thing's so bad.
They erased it from history.
Dude, they memory hold it 2 weeks after it finished. Like, it was out for 2 weeks and then evaporated off of the platform permanently. There's no physical release for that. Like, that show is gone. Unless you ripped it while you were watching it, it's gone. You know, then that's a her thing. Like, her fingerprints all over Indiana Jones. Like, I get that you liked Isle of Dysentery. A lot of people didn't, and it took a bath. You know, so I think that the farther away she gets from E.T. and the Goonies, it's not her world. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because E.T. was Spielberg, and I think she was just the PA on that, wasn't she?
But that's what I mean. I think that all these people that want to hand out these awards for being like lifetime achievement, greatest Hollywood executive or producer, whatever the ranks and titles are of all time, they're lumping in all that pre-2000 stuff into her title that she has now, head of the company. And like that couldn't be more stolen valor than it is, because those aren't her accolades. Those are Spielberg's accolades. Those are George's accolades. Those are her husband Frank Marshall's accolades. You know what I mean? So she dated her way into the inner circle and took over the job as like a trusted fucking second in command or whatever she was. And here we are talking about how bad this list is.
Sounds like someone else we know.
Saying, you know, and we're not even talking about the canceled shit and how much time you got.
Yeah.
This guy gets a trilogy. You got a trilogy. I'm working on a trilogy. Taika Waititi working on a movie. Gone. Mangold movie gone.
I think the best thing that happened is that all of them being gone because
100%.
It gives some time away. We were talking before the show where the reason why Star Wars worked so well is that George took his influences, which was World War II, Westerns, and Buck Rogers, and turned it into Star Wars. Now you have writers who are still working on the same IPs, who grew up with Star Wars, who are taking their influence of Star Wars and then have to shoehorn in the lore instead of using their influence to create something new. Star Wars should be done, and we should be moving on to new stuff. Star Trek should be done and moving on to new stuff, where new writers are coming in and they're taking the influences from Star Trek, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, all the other ones, and creating their
Doctor
own
Who, Farscape,
creating all their own new stuff instead of getting the reboot of Stargate or Stargate meets Battlestar Galactica. Or
that's coming on Amazon Prime, by the way.
I heard
you did.
Ouch. But or Star Wars episode 45 -2 to the 7th power. I don't need that. I don't need you to dag the corpse of Harrison Ford up to be Indiana Jones and searching for his 90s remote. I don't need this.
That'd be kind of funny. I would see that. I think you're 100% right. And I think the analogy you used pre-show was hospice IP. IP Hospice. Like, yeah, maybe I feel like I'm black pilled on it a little bit, like, but maybe it is time, because if you think about it, like, if we're being honest, how much stuff besides Star Wars that our parents watched are we likely into? Like, sooner or later, things are they're allowed to go by the wayside and age gracefully and be put out to pasture. Dude, Star Wars has been around since what, 77? We're coming up on like 50 years. Like, if old fans, if legacy fans are out and they fail to capitalize on making new fans, and the kids that would be, the kids like my son's age aren't interested at all, there's nobody left. Like, it might just be time to let it go.
Let it go. Let somebody new come in and bring in fresh ideas instead of recycling the same old in our face. Yes, it looks cool. Maybe do a throwback later in life, but right now we're done.
Yeah, dude, I'm fairly checked out on all the big IP stuff that's coming. I told you the other day, dude, I don't know necessarily that I'm even hyped for Doomsday. Like, well, why would I be hyped? Dude, here's how I know I'm not hyped for it. Somebody else's channel was running a updated spoiler for some of the Doomsday plot. Usually me, I'm quicker than Keanu in the Matrix with getting out of that video, so nothing's spoiled, dude. I didn't care. I listened to the whole thing start to finish because I'm like, I just don't care anymore, because these things have been beaten to death. And I think the problem, though, is we can't allow new ideas to happen, because everybody has these expectations now that the next big thing is this giant ass expensive thing, and nobody knows how to let something be small or be grassroots and then get big. And I think the closest opportunity we had, not that it was ever really small, was that garbage Rebel Moon. Like, at least it was something new.
It was new.
Bad, but
it was bad, new. But it was new. Yes. We had coal powered starships and big heads,
slow-mo threshing of grain,
and and space farming in slow motion.
I would like to visit that village, though. It looked idyllic. It looked peaceful. Shire vibes, And
then like the magic stick that just laid down the smack on people.
It did. Dude, that movie was so stupid. You remember when Anthony Hopkins was a robot that put the stag crown thing on and then fucked off for a movie and a half?
And then shows up, kills one person, and he's like, oh, he's the hero of the movie. Because he did more than anybody else really did.
Thanks, Snyder. This is why people hate you. Yeah. But I'm with you, dude. I would rather take a bunch of low budget shit. I don't mean like micro budget shit. It doesn't need to be student film. But like, we can't get a decent sci-fi space opera idea done for 50 mil, 30 mil. Really?
I mean, the best one we've seen is also been a movie, a TV series, and that's Dune.
Yeah.
They just keep recycling the same things. I mean, they tried that whole new was it John Carter?
That was with him 25 years ago, though, dude. That's like
that was that long ago.
Yeah.
Dude, it was early 2000s.
Old movie now, dude.
Yeah,
but again,
they tried.
But that movie got dunked on by like a shit lack of marketing and everything else. The movie's actually solid and a decent adaptation of the book. So it's John Carpenter and the Princess of Mars. Mm-hmm. I've heard it's a pretty good adaptation. I saw it as a kid, and like, I don't know, it was a stupid action movie to me at the time. That might be another one. Like, I put that on my list of shit I need to watch. You know what I mean? Just to see if it's as bad. But I think that we're past adaptations now. I think literally there needs to be some schmuck out there who has a decent little bit of life experience. Somebody that's not 22 writing Star Wars fan fiction. Maybe somebody that's done some time, maybe somebody that's, been in the armed service, been in a conflict zone, has some interesting take on what that would look like.
Well, because it doesn't even have to be military sci-fi.
No, I'm just saying, like, somebody
space opera.
I'm just saying, but somebody who's been through some shit in life and whose source of reference for like human drama isn't crap that they saw in the CW. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Because when we think about the writers that sat down and did the best of TOS, the best of TNG and DS9, these are like men and women in like their 30s and 40s that have been through some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they were able to do frame of reference. They were, a lot of them still, public schools being public schools, we're still taught how to think critically, to ask the 5 W's, to be able to put together a story in a coherent way. We don't do critical thinking anymore. We do critical feeling now, which is why shows like Starfleet Academy are as bad as they are. You can't have decorum or rules or discipline, a respectable chain of command. We don't do that. We don't do that here. We got to Wakanda that show. We don't do that.
We don't do that.
Here. We don't do that. But yeah, no, I think space opera 100%. Dude, if I handed you a check for $50 million, I guarantee you could get a space opera done off of one of your IP ideas and get that done. Because you'd be strict on the FX budget and you'd limit the scope. It ain't rocket science. You just have to do it.
And I think we saw a little bit of this, which is our book adaptations with The Martian and coming out in March.
I can't
Project Hail Mary. Like, these are sci-fi type stories that are more, I would put in a more realistic type or a near future type setting. I think that would fit well. And it's something new, even though it's an adaptation, which I love adaptations.
I was just responding to the Oracle in the chat. Oracle said John Carpenter only came out in 2012. I was like, dude, I thought it came out like a year after like Wild Wild West with like Will Smith. That's how old. I was like MIB old.
Yeah, that one is old.
That's another franchise that
Wild West.
Like, let it go. We tried Ben in Black International. Like, no, just like these things have. I think I'm now down for this idea that like things have had their time and it's okay. And then you can go back. It's
okay to let it go.
And you can go back and watch it on your own. One of the older ones, one of the better ones. You have music you listen to from when you were 20.
I still listen to music from when I was younger.
Dude,
it's
what
better.
Well, clearly, but I'm saying it doesn't go away just because it's not being constantly refreshed every second or third year.
Yeah. And like we're seeing the shift. I mean, it was superheroes for the longest time.
20 years, dude.
Yeah, we've seen superhero movies all the time, but now what's the new hotness? Video game movies.
Yep, because they finally started getting good and making bank.
Yeah,
finally,
because they stopped making stupid adaptations of video game movies. Right. I mean, do you remember Wing Commander with Freddie Prinze Jr.
and your boy Matthew Lillard was in that?
And I thought it was Gary Busey's son
also in that.
Okay, they're both in it.
Mm-hmm. It was trash.
And
Super Mario that you were just talking about earlier.
First Super Mario Brothers.
Trash.
It was horrible.
Mm-hmm. You ain't wrong.
But now they're actually starting to get good, and now you're seeing all of these movies come out. Like you had Pokemon Detective. That was actually a fun Pokemon movie. I don't understand Pokemon. I've never played Pokemon, but I enjoyed Pokemon Detective.
Yeah. You got a couple Mario. You got another Mario movie coming out this year. That's going to make $1 billion guaranteed. Yeah. Sonic's gone back to back billion with the fourth one on the way. Nintendo's going to hit again with the yellow Link, Legend of Zelda.
They have a Legend of Zelda coming out. I didn't see that.
Live action.
Oh, who they're in cast as Zelda and who they're in cast as Link.
They might already got some info out on that if you go digging. But dude, but they're a treasure trove company. You could do a Metroid movie tomorrow talking about sci-fi.
I mean, Minecraft was the highest grossing movie last year.
$1.5 billion, $1.7 billion, something like that. It was up there. It was huge. Yeah. So there's options. I mean, we're not going to talk about the OG Mortal Kombat movie or Armageddon because we can talk about that new one though.
The OG Mortal Kombat movie was not as bad as everyone remembers.
Dude, it's bad.
Just Goro's CGI. But the music was on
because it was CGI. It was a mix of CGI and practical. That was the genius of Goro. It was a mix, but the music was on point. That one track still being played at clubs nationwide in little short bursts. And every wedding I go to, the last 5 years, someone breaks it out for the meme. Yeah. Hells yeah, dude. R.I.P. Shang Tsung from that. He just passed, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
I can't remember his name. Corey something, right?
Was it Corey Han?
This person? No. He's a longer last name. I can't remember. The guy played. I can't remember it. Maybe the Oracle could look that up real quick. Mortal Kombat actor Shang Tsung.
Just
was the character's name. Yeah, like literally last December.
Yeah,
it was like last month. But video games are next. But I don't know where it goes from there because I think that, like we've said before, the theater model.
Westerns are gonna make their comeback.
The theater model has slaughtered 70% of the movies that people would have just normally gone out to see to have something to do. Like, I don't need to show up to see Chris Hemsworth in The Extraction in theater ever again. A rom-com is not anything you ever need to go see at the theater ever again.
Unless it's a date movie.
Again, unless it's not a Netflix and chill situation, you know what I mean? Of course. But I mean, that's going to limit the expense. Like, people aren't going to trip over themselves to go do that. It was Carrie Hiroyuki Tagawa. That's right. R.I.P. Yeah, there's not a lot of IP left that would draw me out, and I think at this point it would be outfits like Netflix or Paramount or Warner Brothers, whoever happens to come into them, having a giant ass streaming budget and putting together projects like a $50 to $100 million sci-fi movie like a Rebel Moon, but with a more restrained budget, and just taking multiple shots. That's the thing. Like, you can't keep blowing 250, 300 mil on this big idea and then not generate a 10% increase in subscribers. You got to go word of mouth on like K-pop Demon Hunters. Like, they definitely picked up some subs on that. They did. There's no shot that they didn't. But it only cost them like $25 million to make or whatever, like Godzilla -1. And control your budgets. Profit.
I do think with the Netflix purchase of Warner Brothers, we will see a dual cast where they send it to theaters so people can see it on that big screen with that big sound and stuff like that.
They've said they would. They've said they'd honor that for at least a little while. But I mean, do you think they're still honoring that in 5 years? I think they put theaters out of business altogether with that kind of shit. I don't think they're motivated.
If they take out Warner Brothers, all you really have is like MGM and Paramount and Sony. Those are about the only three that really left that release in theaters. A24 and some of the smaller studios.
A24, but like, how big are they really, and how long before they get swallowed up in an acquisition somewhere else?
Yeah, pretty soon. Just like our news is going to be controlled by 3 major companies.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of a Bond movie. Somebody should look into that.
Yeah, was it Tomorrow Never Dies?
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's 15 years old too.
Yeah,
almost like we should have seen this shit coming.
Wasn't that Pierce Brosnan's last one?
I think so. Yeah, that's the what's her name? Denise Richards. I thought that wasn't Denise Richards the Bond girl in his last movie?
No, that was the one before.
Scientist. Oh, okay. All right.
What was her name? Christmas? I know her last name was Christmas.
Yeah. Don't know. Don't care. Was stupid.
Yeah, no. Halle Berry was the one with the news agencies and everything, and then the Ice Palace.
True. Yep, I remember the Ice Palace. True. Yeah. We do Bond movies at some point. That could be kind of fun.
Yeah.
But Kathleen Kennedy's out, dude.
Yep. And you know what's coming out? Avengers Doomsday. We already talked about it. And this is probably the make or break of the MCU. Will the MCU survive Doomsday? That's the real question here.
Dude, I'm going to do a live spot check here. I'm going to go to YouTube right now. Right? Hold on. I'm going to check out to YouTube. And I'm going to type in Doomsday trailer official. Let's see what comes up. Okay.
Oh, there's so many fan-made ones.
Here's one from Marvel Entertainment, right? With their logo. 4K. It's a minute long. I think this is the Wakanda Namor trailer that I heard about. All right. Just want to see how many. It has 10 million views in 8 days, right? The X-Men Will Return trailer has 16 million views in 2 weeks. The Steve Rogers one has 18 million views in a month. Does this movie make $1 billion based on those figures? Is the hype there?
I don't think it would be the $1 billion should be the mark.
I'm just curious.
I think if it builds the trust back, does it lay that first brick?
Well, I'm glad you said first brick, because obviously I'm on the record saying things like you need like 3 in a row to start talking pattern and recovery.
And they have like 3 coming out in the next 2 years, and only 3.
What's the third one? What am I forgetting? I got Doomsday, Secret War, and what?
Spider-Man. Brand new day.
Of course. Brand new day. True. I mean, is it too little too late? I mean, is a course correction possible where, again, it's eerie how similar these two franchises are at this point.
Well, look who's at the head of the ship. These are just 2 small things owned by the big ship at the top, and that's the mouse.
This is what I'm saying. So on Team B, on Team Marvel, if they've just spent the last 5 years, so, like everything after Endgame, more or less, Spidey is Sony, yes.
It's split. It's MCU and Sony. They have a better deal for MCU
they have a
side.
rental agreement, and
Yeah,
things like that. They're 5 years deep into doing exactly what Star Wars has now done for like going on a decade. They're telling a sizable, I would say the predominant majority section of their fans, that's cool, but I think I want to see other people. And they're 5 years into not having found other people. And now they're going to try to do the crawling back, realized I couldn't do better. It was me the whole time. Bad breakup bullshit, because they're pumping out trailers. Their first 3 trailers are all dude focused on like dads trying to be protectors and doing the right thing and this and that. And we haven't seen in the first 3 trailers, we didn't see fuck all from like A-Force or Captain Marvel or Ms. Marvel or She-Hulk.
well, none of them have kids.
But I'm saying, they're wisely showing us stuff that the original majority of these movies were into. Like they're dangling it right back in your face now.
Well, they're saying,
was there a rug pull comment or no?
This is what pulled me into this topic. I was enlightened earlier by my lovely wife about some Russo comments that's coming out, and they said
we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, they said that these are not teaser trailers. This is the start of the story, and you need to pay attention. Doomsday's already started.
Okay. That ties nicely into what I wanted to talk about also, is a bit of the rumor mill that's going on for some of the main plot points of this situation in this movie, is that the Doomsday scenario is already underway from jump at this movie. This isn't something that they walk into. The shit has already hit the fan.
Yes.
Okay? Spoiler alerts for the 1,500 people watching right here. All right. That the famously, like one of the best tracked shots of the entire spade of trailers that they put out is the Scott Summers Cyclops unleashing the blast. And the blast,
yes.
We all know, we've seen it in games, we've seen it in animations. People are stupid hyped to see that. The spoilerific rumors that I'm hearing is that he's unleashing that on Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, who is fighting. They're fighting to a head because it's every world, every 616 variation, every number for itself. Because Doom has created whatever mechanism to make it that way universes are collapsing in. And he's destroying them all systematically and pitting heroes against each other. So the blast you see is because the blast you see is I think you were right on this. You said this a few weeks ago, is because Spider-Man's actions, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man actions, have caused the death of Cyclops' daughter.
Rachel Summers.
Rachel Summers, because I said, I think it's a Jean Grey thing, and you were like, no, I think it's going to be the daughter, which tracks, because we already see now in these trailers, protective parent. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if they're going the whole route of Doom collecting kids like Infinity Gems for Dark Avengers or whatever that you had mentioned. Maybe they tie that in, maybe they don't. Hi, Joe Cubes! Mm-hmm. Nicely done. They said that's a big tie-in. That's a big room that's out now, is that it's Tobey Maguire and possibly Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, doing some side-by-side fighting nonsense as they defend that world from Marvel X-Men world or Fox Marvel X-Men world. And then it goes from there. And that's how they create all this interfaction battlage that you know is part of the Doomsday storyline. So we shall see. A little bit of a rumor.
But that also checks where he's collapsing the worlds, which would create Battle World, one world. And this is all supposed to destroy the multiverse total.
Now, the other tie-in that I heard there, and I wasn't familiar with this line of comics, so I wouldn't know, is that apparently they've already done a storyline like this where it was Kang, and this was going to be the backdrop for the Kang the Conqueror movie, was that Kang the Conqueror comes to 616 because of Steve Rogers' decision to return gems to places in history. That somehow caused the destruction of his original timeline or his original slice of reality. So he's coming through now to collapse realities out of revenge.
Yeah,
like, okay, so
who
maybe they
came
took what they
before.
had left, right? So they're taking maybe parts of what they had already had for the John Majors Kang storyline, recycled it, tuned it up, and made it into Doomsday, which was, I guess, something they already did in Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Which makes sense. Like Doom is the obvious pivot for this, because when you see the technology that Kane's using, it's actually Doom's technology.
Right. So I hope
Reed
this
Richards
is one of those
used it
things,
as well in Multiverse of Madness,
which goes into another little. It's like a tidbit spoiler, but we already know that She-Hulk's not in the movie. Like she's fired. Like she's done. I heard recently Ruffalo not in the movie as Bruce. That there might be
please fire
Ruffalo
him.
Hulk. He's a douche. He can get fired. They can recast the Hulk tomorrow, and I wouldn't care. Right. Yeah. But the other one, like a noticeable absence from this movie, is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is not in Doomsday, is what I'm hearing. And I'm like, but the last time we saw this clown at the end of Multiverse of Madness, he was on his way to deal with what they called an incursion, which is the entire point of this movie, is that incursions are happening all through time and space, and they're collapsing each other's shit.
And he is not in the Secret Wars comic either.
Where's Stephen Strange? What's going on? What is happening? Like, he pissed off to the alien dimension with the daughter of Dormammu and a third eye in his forehead, were never to be seen again. Okay,
he's here to bargain.
He's to those. See, that's a good ending. I did thoroughly enjoy that.
Yeah,
you know. And the only other little bit I had on Doomsday, because I had heard this earlier in the week, was that it's been pseudo passed around that anybody that's made an appearance in a Marvel movie is likely to have a spot cameo in Doomsday. And that could include stinger scenes at the end of said movie. So somebody like Kate Bishop, who had a stinger scene at the end of, I think it was the Marvels, or I think it was the end of Miss Marvel, actually. No, it was the end of the Marvels, I think. That couldn't have been a show. If you're in a movie, if you're on the big screen at any point, you're probably in this somewhere, but that nobody from any show whose only appearance was a show is going to be in. So Ironheart, not a thing.
Gone.
Echo,
not a thing. Daredevil.
You know what I mean? But Daredevil's already been in.
Oh, he was in a movie. That's right.
He was in Spider-Man. He was the lawyer.
Yeah, he was the lawyer. Right. That's right.
Exactly. And somebody like Ms. Marvel, who was in the Marvels.
Yeah, like, she made the crossover.
Probably be in, right?
So but no White Vision.
Dude, nope, probably not there. But obviously, Wanda could be back.
Wanda could be back.
Loki could be back. But anybody that was in Loki's show that wasn't in a movie, so like female Loki, probably not. Like variants, probably not in the movie. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. But it all comes back to hype. And like I said, I watched these 3 trailers and I couldn't feel at all like I wasn't being played. They're like, oh, dude, we realized we really screwed the pooch on this shit. And we turned everything you liked into fucking jokes. And we tried to tear all your shit down to build up these other characters because we couldn't write them to be great on their own without tearing down every bit of comparison to hold them up against. You know what I mean? Do you hate Ironheart as much if they didn't have to shit on Iron Man to get there? Maybe. Probably. I don't know.
If she didn't have to steal her tech to begin with, to reverse engineer it, if maybe she saw it and read his books and then made her own, I think that would have made the Ironheart character more relatable. I think it would have been more appealing. I mean, I'm not ever going to be a giant Ironheart fan anyway, because it's written in an era where literally everything is identity-driven, identity politics. But at least her storyline in the beginning, as I'm aware of it in print, they actually had a relationship. Like, he caught her stealing the shit, but he recognized a spark in her and took on that mentor role, because you could do that 10 years ago. Now, if you're a young female character, you're not allowed to have wisdom or power bestowed upon you by a guy. You can't be taught by Tony Stark. She said it in the damn show. I'm gonna be bigger than Pym, bigger than Reed, bigger than Stark. I'm like, probably not, but okay, maybe. But yeah, so if you're on a show, you're not there. I'm not feeling the hype for Doomsday at all. If there's a Super Bowl trailer,
You were just saying a little while ago?
Yes, I do. I have the whole lineup of Super Bowl trailers, which they have a pretty good lineup going. We are going to see the first full trailer for Spider-Man Brand New Day.
How hyped are you for that?
I'm kind of excited. I want to see where they go with it. Plus, it's Tom Holland's farewell swan song. So I want to see that. I think he did an excellent job as Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
I loved the second half of No Way Home. That was the third one, right? No Way Home.
That was the third one.
Three Peters, right? I love the second half of that movie because I love the three of them together. I would have stopped it there. I don't know so much that what's a fourth movie gonna do if it's his last movie? Like I already feel like the last movie was last movie for me. You know, like now he's on his own. The spell was that's another good. So Strange cast a spell on the entire city. On all his people, nobody knows who he is. Then, like, what's the fucking point? Like,
they know Peter Parker. They don't know Peter Parker as Spider-Man.
No, they don't know Peter Parker. That was the whole point of the end of the movie. He went into the coffee shop where MJ was, and she didn't recognize him. That was the whole point. He erased himself from all their memories. His best friend didn't recognize him either, walking by him. Go back watch that last 10 minutes. They don't know him.
We were supposed to get.
Yeah.
We got we're getting the second trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu.
We got a first one?
Yeah, it was more of a teaser than it was a trailer.
Oh, dude, I don't even think we watched that on the stream. That's right.
Yeah,
it was like a 15-second thing. Cool, I'll take a look. I'm not hyped, but I'll take a look. It's gonna be on.
We are getting the first trailer of Toy Story 5. Where it's the toys versus the screens.
Yeah. I don't know. If my son's into it, I'll take him. But
I mean,
Toy Story was over in 3 for me.
Toy Story 3 had the perfect ending, but then Toy Story 4 was great. And it
Heard it was good.
Great.
Heard it was good. Unlike Shrek 4. Yeah.
And then we were getting a second trailer for Mario Galaxy.
I'm down for that on general principle because the first one was a lot of fun. Had a lot of heart.
We're getting the first trailer for Minions 3.
Enough already. Like, please. Gonna make $1 billion, though.
And then we're not going to get another of those vignettes. I'm going to call them now, not teaser trailers, vignettes from Doomsday. We are getting a full trailer of Doomsday at the Super Bowl.
I'm going to have to get up to speed and watch the 4 or 5 vignettes as you've just named them here. Like, really pay attention to them on the Russo's recommendation, and then be ready for that to come through. But again, I just don't know that I feel the hype. Like it almost feels cheap in a way that they're bringing Steve Rogers and not Fat Thor back. Like I wanted that like 4 years ago. I wanted a nice little passing of the baton thing and not a opting out of doing the right thing or making this guy Captain America because optics in 2018. And I think dude, I don't know if I might not be in for the course correction like they want. And dude, and that's the sad part, dude. They need me. They need me. They need you. You know why? I buy multiple movie tickets. I buy digital and DVD releases. I buy the birthday presents in the family for like all the boys that still play with toys and shit. You know, and if I'm not on board, no one else is buying that shit. You know,
I think this is going to be a good reset. I have high hopes, but I don't want to get stuck on the hopium like the Stranger Things people got stuck on the copium.
Oh, dude, they're still going on about that stuff. I heard they moved the goalpost to a different date.
Yeah, next year.
Like, okay, guys.
Pretty soon you cross that line where you've lost. Is like when the last time you crossed that line you didn't want to cross. We crossed that line a long time, a lot of lines ago.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I don't know about those folks on that Stranger Things. It's almost like the raptor, the horse. It's almost like they're any day now.
Yeah,
coming any day.
Any day. It's trying to happen.
Any day. Dave says saw the Doom teaser with the Fantastic Four at the Lord of the Oh, dude, yeah, dude. Oh no, Lord of the Rings wasn't meh. The trailer was meh. I'll give you that.
Not trailer, vignette. This is actually storytelling.
Yeah. More interestingly, Lord of the Rings made 11 million global box office the weekend it was out in 2 days. I'm like, why didn't they just throw that out full release then? Go wide release. That would have been the #1 movie in the world.
Then it wouldn't be special.
Dude, but it would have been the number one movie in the world, just like when they put Jaws out, and that was the number one movie those 2 weeks at the box office over the summer. You know what I'm saying? It just goes to show, dude. Old shit's better shit. It's literal proof in the pudding. Teaser was meh. Yeah, it was. Because I don't want to see. And is that the one that didn't have Reed Richards in it? Because they know Pedro's box office poison now too, and it was thing heavy. Friday Fellowship packed, sold out. You damn right it was. And you shall have my bow. Seriously. Yep. Dad, I don't know. I hope you get the reset you want to, but I mean, even then.
But we won't get that for another 4 years. This
is what I'm saying. It's a 1-2 punch with like 10 years in between. It was Ben Grimm. That's what I'm saying, dude. Because they know. I'm telling you, dude. These are tactical decisions. Like somebody sat down and was like, "Listen, you can't put Captain Marvel within 500 miles of these trailers. You can't do it. You know, you've got to put out there." And this is going to sound terrible. You can't put Wakanda in the first trailer. You need to throw a pale, male, and stale white guy in this trailer and put him out there first. You just, at this point, you have to. Like, it's done. Like, other people are sick of their bullshit too. It's not just guys that look like us, man. You know, it's all little Spanish kids and black kids that grew up buying these comics that are now 50, almost like we are. Shit too. Nobody wants Ironheart headlining a trailer for this movie.
And you're not going to get it. And that's why I think they're going to do this right. They're going to kill off the Fox Cinematic Universe. Yeah. They're going to end.
It sounds like they're literally doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. This Spider-Man, I mean, Deadpool was already talked about how it was in the void. So,
yep.
So they're killing off that, and then they're going to completely recast as this world, as all the battle world becomes the Earth One. I'm just going to call it Earth One at that point. It won't be the 616 anymore.
I think that's what I think I've heard them call that already. I think I've seen that thrown around like Reddit rumors where like people are talking about that when they've done this event in print, that's what it became. Like that's what their new timeline started out as in one of their reboots.
And it's trying to put all of these heroes in the same universe,
which makes sense because they're all under one banner now anyway. But let me ask you this, right? If the reset is a 1-2 punch of Doomsday and Secret Wars, right? How long do you wait before you kick things back off with the recast you're trying to talk about? And then second question, who do you start with? Who's your first movie? You just you go right for the fucking throat.
Yeah, it's gonna be X-Men.
No solo C-list attempt like Iron Man or Thor again. You just boom.
No. Actually, they're not even going to be focusing on for the next phase. There is no Iron Man. There is no Thor. There is no Captain America. It's X-Men and like 2 other groups that they're going to be focusing on. That's going to build into a different end.
They're doing teams instead, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Avengers will be pretty much. Was it Faith? They're going in phase 6, right? That's phase 6. The Doom and Secret Wars is phase 6.
Yeah.
Then it'll be phase 7, the mutant era. And then, phase 7 and phase 8 has no mention of Captain America, Thor, any of those.
Does that work? Does that work for these guys? Who do you headline?
X-Men. Hands down. X-Men.
Which ones? OG team? 2020 team from like books that aren't selling. Like there's so many minds that they can step on here, dude. Like this isn't an open shot case that like a reboot automatically saves this IP. Not even close, in my opinion.
But what it can do is get that nostalgia feel for when they reintroduce the new Iron Man in the recasting, because it'll feel fresh. It will give you that time to
how long do I wait then? This is what I'm saying. If I wait 3 years to get the X-Men and then 3 more years to get the shit that I'm nostalgic for now?
No, it will probably be 10 years from next year.
Wow, dude, I don't think they think like that. I think you think like that, which is
I
great.
think like that. I'm a big picture guy.
Right, you're a big picture guy. I think these idiots think like the fucking sequel trilogy. You know what I mean? Which is like, oh, we're gonna do this. They can't get Blade done, dude. You think you talk about big picture with multiple targets,
Blade
multiple franchises?
is supposed to be in the new phase with the mutants because
with
he'll
Midnight
fit
Suns.
better then.
I saw that. I already saw that that interview. I think that was Feige that said that. Is Blade's first new Blade's first appearance won't be a solo film. It'll be in a Midnight Suns outing. I'm like, that's good, but I don't think most people like. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just over team ups. Maybe I just want to get back to a point where we can do solo movies and I don't have to see Midnight Suns to see Wolverine and Ghost Rider and fucking Blade and the other two that I can't remember.
Moon Knight and
Moon Knight. Thank you. I knew it was Moon Knight. And
I think that it's going to be a different team because Wolverine will not be part of it.
But he was on Midnight Suns at one point though, wasn't he? I think he's on the cover of my game.
Out. He might have been.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's not going to be in the movie version.
You see paper right here. Half the people who remember the MCU will be dead by then. Dude, I mean, you're not wrong, dude. I mean, the MCU started like 05. True that. But I don't know, dude. Where are you on team up movies? Let me do a question. Does a solo movie even work now? Could I get if they were inclined to make it, would a solo Blade movie even work? Or do you think from a consumer side that the audience now wants the team up?
I think people get more reaction out of the team up because it has a bigger payoff in the actual movie. You get that bigger fight
at the end.
Yeah, you get that bigger fight. You bring in the bigger enemies, which people are wanting to see. They're tired of seeing the solo villains that they just kill off. They need that big villain that can return.
The big villain, yeah, but I mean, does every Marvel movie going forward now not only need the blue sky laser, but does it need the portal opening and fucking Godzilla stepping through and Han Solo stepping through and Optimus Prime stepping through? Can it not just be?
Oh no, not that big of a team up. It's going to be pretty much like these people are drawn together. It's not going to be that type of team up. Like it's going to be more of them who they're already together as a team.
See, that's what I mean. Right. I don't even think I want that. I don't even think I would want a movie where Blade's in New York, right? Or is he LA?
He's all over. Blades travels.
Okay, let for this discussion. Let me just say
it's New York mostly, yeah.
Okay, I'm saying just for this point of this discussion, right? I don't want to see a Blade movie where there's like a random Daredevil cameo because cameos have worked before and now like they feel like they're obligated to throw that shit in so the internet can eat that up for like the month and a half before where it's like, spoiler rumor, Daredevil might be in Blade. Here's the top 7 reasons. Like that's all these movies are now to me. Is trying to avoid the internet until I can go see Deadpool versus Wolverine and see if Blade really is in it. And then going crazy for 3 seconds and getting the dopamine spike and then be like, okay, that's it. That's all we got. Because that's what I feel like that's all they got left.
I think they did a good job with Deadpool versus Wolverine.
I had a blast.
That they didn't spoil the cameos there.
I mean, they did a good job. I mean, the internet's undefeated. I'm sure those rumors 100% were out there somewhere. But I just go into like internet lockdown mode, and I don't I don't mess with YouTube for like the 2 weeks before these things come out anymore.
Well, most of my YouTube algorithm isn't that. Like I watch a lot of other stuff. Mostly sports and a lot of wrestling. Yeah, and then
I got a bunch of this shit on wall to wall,
and a few like music to help me concentrate when I'm working.
True. But yeah, for me, like I think I could stand to see a high profile A, B, or C list. It just has to be a character I want to see. Like how do you think a Colossus movie does as a standalone?
There wouldn't be a Colossus. Colossus it wasn't that big. But how about a standalone Juggernaut movie?
I'm over the villain verse shit. Don't want it. Sony tried that. They're all bad.
Juggernaut was a good guy for the longest time under the New Mutants.
When was that? When was that run?
That run was late 90s, early 2000s.
Was that late 90s?
It was before the Onslaught storyline.
Okay, so I was already out, but I'm like, my frame of reference is like the animated series and like late 80s shit. I don't think he was a good guy then. But maybe that's, I think that the villain anti-hero thing, I think I'm washed on that too. Like I'm good. I don't need to see any of that stuff. Like I don't need a Colossus movie. I don't think I'd want a Kitty Pryde movie. Do a Cyclops movie. Maybe. Pape's asking if Juggernaut was a New Mutant. Apparently so.
It was X-Force. New Mutants were already over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, New Mutants only lasted 100 episode or a 100 issue run, and then then it went right into X-Force with Cable as the leader. See, Cable movie I could probably get into, because there's enough side shit happening around characters like Bishop? That to make it. I don't know too much about Bishop, but what I've seen from Days of Future Past, like, the look is interesting anyway. Like that, you could probably build a whole movie around him. So Bishop is a time traveler. He comes from Cable's time after the Sentinels kind of rule the Earth.
Shit. Right.
And he's coming back to prevent
Days of Future Past. Right. Yeah. That was basically the story they lifted for Days of Future Past. I think they slid in a couple of other small B plots from other stuff to make it.
Yeah, but it was in
that was the center.
In the comic, he was there to kill Gambit. Because Gambit's the one who assassinated the president, but come to find out it wasn't Gambit who actually did it.
It was Mystique.
I think it was
always Mystique.
It was another shapeshifter.
It's always Mystique though. Mystique just covers the whole broad umbrella of people that killed you. That did. But
I guess Bishop could have a solo movie going from the future to the past, seeing the animanium skeleton of Wolverine.
Yeah, it could be dope.
In like a Bacna type tank.
Dude. Could be dope. Could work. I'm saying, but again, I think everything they do after Secret Wars, whether it's team reboots, solo picture reboots, it needs a you type of guy, or 2 or 3 of yous to take some time to fucking cover one of those Harvard blackboards with like note cards and yarn and tie together an idea. There was an idea once. Cue the music, and I'm doing the whole Jackson Shield thing. There we are. To put that idea together and then follow through with it with a bunch of folks that then have like near expert level canon knowledge. So they're not stepping on other people's ideas. So they're not stepping on what came before them. I think that's where this trip up point's going to be. Like we've already done the Cap thing in 6 movies, 7 movies by then. It's a reboot. But then they can never mention the MCU. Like it can't be a phase 7. It needs to be phase 1. You know what I mean? Or call it something else. Or else it's always going to be referential and weighed down by what did come before. It's going to be Kamala. That they will be burdened by what's been unburdened or whatever that stupid thing was she said. Remember how stupid that was? It was stupid. But yeah, if they're moving forward, they need that clean break. And I think, like you said, they recast and pick new figures to get behind and really hammer home that this is the new core group. These are the heroes that we believe in. They can pick whichever ones they want. They just can't be the shittiest version of that character from print issues ever. And I think that's the biggest minefield, the biggest mine they have to watch out for. That's what I got on that. But we've gone way over. We've gone way over.
Yeah.
I didn't think Doomsday was going to take us this long.
Well, we had a lot to say about Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy. That kind of almost took up the whole first hour.
It did. It needed to be said though, because that's I'm black-pilled on that, but we'll see what happens. But I think maybe we should save some topics for another day because it's getting late. We're gonna let people get to bed, get to work, do whatever they got to do. Yeah, why don't you thank everybody for being here? The millions of people watching around the world, we appreciate you being here.
And the millions.
I don't want to rip them off all the way, so I just went with the millions.
No, thank you guys. If you guys stuck around this long, you guys are like true believers, and you guys are really into what we're talking about. Hopefully, we can get some more topics like this going where we're just kind of just talking and throwing our opinions out. But if you do like it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss when we drop. Hit that thumbs up on this video because that really gets us out on the algorithm so other people can enjoy this content too. We still have our membership program open, $2 a month, and y'all can become a warden and get one of our cool gifts. And after that, I just gotta say good night, people.
Later, Pape. Stay safe in the snow. Deuces.